I have a very important guest today. She's a very important. She's one of the Avengers. If you guys seen my past live stream, and yeah, man, I don't even want to hold this up too long. Stima, Shadei, the inspiring. Can you clear that up for me?
Yes.
I just found out what
Shadei.
it meant.
Shadei, the inspirational, motivational author.
The inspirational, motivational. Shout out to you, Shadei.
Thank you,
Shadei.
thank you, thank you.
Yeah. So we were talking a little bit behind the scenes before you guys came on. So now it's like you guys cramping the style, but we have some some powerful stuff to go through. I want to say thank you and thank your crew, the church crew. Shout out to you guys. Shout outs to the Limits crew. Everybody watching Rumble Limits, Rumble locals, YouTube and X. This is what we're talking about today. This is what we're talking about. I have this. This doesn't have me. And because I'm cool, I have a special copy. Right? So how me and Shadei met. Do you wanna take it away?
You can go ahead.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we were at the Poughkeepsie Book Festival,
Mhm.
and it was my first time writing a book. And I've seen Shadei. Shadei was like right next to me, and I made my way over there, and I just started talking to her. She gave me the book. She actually purchased my book as well as me purchasing her book. We did a little swap,
Yeah.
and what she wrote was to Mike, blessings on blessings to you and your journey on being a new author. I look forward to the podcast. Keep your eyes on the prize. Love, peace, and blessings. Shadei Williams.
That's it.
And this was in March. We are now in November. So, and I ended up booting this podcast up from Find Your Limits, and here we are now. So look at God. Look at God. That's for the church crew. For the church crew. So Shadei, would you like to introduce yourself again?
Again, yes.
Again.
I am Shadei Latoya Williams. I am a daughter. I am a sister. I am a motivation. I am a child of God. I am all these wonderful things, and I'm continuously blessed and continuously striving to be better than I was yesterday and the day before. And we're here and ready to rock it out.
Amen. 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 Thank you for gracing us with your presence once again. I know a lot of people were waiting on this. So the point of this podcast is to shed light on parts of you that either you changed because you wrote this book when you were 24 and you're 34 now, right?
Yes.
So that's a whole
Almost
10
10
years.
years ago.
Shout out to you.
Oh
Shout out.
my goodness.
hey, hey, guy, church crew, don't kill me for that one. But yeah, and either you changed, everybody's gonna grow, but either you changed in those 10 years, or maybe you figured there's more you should have said in those 10 years. So this podcast is gonna shine light on some of those parts. Feel free to interject if you don't feel like I covered everything that you wanted to be exposed, or if I don't feel like, if you feel like there just needs to be extra comments. So physically, you're beautiful.
Thank you.
Physically, you're beautiful. People that see you, they're gonna notice that you do have physical differences, though.
Mhm.
You grew up
Yes.
with certain limits, and I want you to list them all because it's a long list. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's a long list, and the woman is stronger than a lot of men that I know, like big men. But can you let us know what are the ailments that you were born with?
I was born with hydrocephalus, amniotic band syndrome, cerebral palsy. Those are the main three. And then from those three, I've had over 20 surgeries. And from those surgeries, I have pushed through life. Yeah.
20 surgeries. So I put on the thumbnail, I put she has 2 fingers and she wrote a best-selling book. For some people, they're like, "Oh my God, that's so insensitive." You know, I can see how some folks will say that. Dude, that's called shock value. If you listen, if you was born in this dinosaur age and you don't know how YouTube works, that's called shock value. AKA, we need to find a title that brings people in and it captures their attention. So that's that. But as you can see now, you have two fingers, and we were joking that she's always like saying gnarly or mahalo. But yeah, and I asked her, do you have any pain? Is it painful?
It is not painful now. All through life, you see the world differently, and you know that you're different because you see the world does not look like you. And for me, emotionally, it was painful growing up. Absolutely. The physical pain, there has been times where there was physical pain.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, yes, the answer is yes. It was painful. It is not painful anymore.
Mm-hmm. And that's both physically and mentally.
Yes.
And that's a blessing. Shout out to you.
Emotionally, spiritually, all that. Yes, I've experienced it.
So, and that's my next question. Obviously, you're used to being different, but did you ever try to fit in? And what was that experience like?
Yes, I've tried to fit in. It didn't work. Um, but I never realized that it didn't work. I just thought I'd have to try it 100 different ways. But yeah, trying to fit in and realizing that I did not fit in and still at times don't fit in. That's been a struggle. Yes. Yes.
And let me interject. I don't want to be like the rest of you MF. I'm gonna tell you, that's my greatest fear, is to be the same as everybody else. So there's times, you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's times that I try to fit in and be with the cool kids, but I'm naturally cool. So, people just gravitate, and I'm sure just like you, like people just gravitate to you. We're not meant to be followers.
Mm-hmm.
We're meant to lead the pack.
There's
so
that.
You like that?
Yes.
So and sometimes that's naturally gonna come with haters. Being different is like, all right, I'm gonna do my own thing. So you did experience bullying,
Mm-hmm.
and you had a bus story. Can you take us to that bus story?
There's 2 specific bus stories. There was this girl that was on the bus, and I was getting on the bus in elementary school, and she asked me about me smiling. She asked me, well, why are you always so happy? And at that age, I didn't know how to answer that question. But then there was also bullying as humans being physical bullies. I was obese. I looked weird. I was different. I had 2 fingers. Growing up, I still have 2 fingers. I walk with a limp. So they literally, and it was 3 of them, 3 children, 3 girls and a boy. So they literally made my life hell. Yes.
So the girl that said, and I'm sorry that happened to you, but
Yeah.
sometimes people like that, it's just a reality that we live with people like that. But somebody told me something, and it was along the lines of, you have to deal with these people for a moment. They have to deal with themselves for the rest of their lives.
Yes.
Yeah. You've heard that?
Yes.
Yeah. And that kind of, all right, whatever. It makes them more tolerable.
Yes.
So with the bus story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's something that stuck with you. Obviously, it's something that you still hold on to now.
Yeah.
It traumatized you. It's like, what do you mean? Why am I smiling? Like, I thought You're supposed to
I thought
smile,
it
you
was
loser. But what would you say now, or what would you tell somebody that goes through something like that now?
Never give up your smile, no matter what anybody says.
Mm,
Never give it up
at all.
at all.
And would you tell them to say something specific, or say you had a time machine? Say you had a time machine, and we take you back like the Butterfly Effect. This is a great movie if you haven't seen it, with Ashton Kutcher. They take you back in time, and you're on the school bus, and she's like, "Why are you so happy?" You
If
can't smack her. You can't hit her. You can't.
because I have absolutely nothing to be sad about.
Mm,
Before she asked me that question, um you don't really think of things until people bring it to your attention, right? So when she asked me, and it probably was an innocent question. She was a child.
right.
Um but it brought awareness to me. And I think at that point, because someone asked me about it, I didn't know how to answer it, and her question scared me at that time in my life. So yeah.
I could imagine it made you like self-conscious,
Yeah.
because yeah, and it's unfortunate, but like kids are curious, and kids are very honest.
Mhm.
So it
They
could have been a
are.
blessing. Yeah, it could have probably been just like the prelude to you actually being on defense in this spiritual war, which we're gonna get to later.
I like that.
Feel me? So it's interesting that they weren't the only bullies, and you did mention the other three. That's what is it? The siblings and the neighbor,
Yeah.
right? So do you know what happened? Because one of them died, right?
Yeah.
And how in the book you processed it very different, but I want you to tell them, like, how did you process that death?
Um, it was at this point, and when it happened, you understand. When it happened, I understood where God was taking me, because I had actually saw her before she passed. I saw her about a month and a half before she passed. And I was at work, and it was a situation where she had walked into the building, and she had done her own thing, and walking into the building, she had her own business to take care of. And
Mhm.
I didn't say anything to her. She didn't say anything to me, but we made eye contact. And when I made eye contact with her, she made eye contact with me. We gave each other a smile, and that was it. Next thing I know, she's not here anymore. So processing that
Right.
is, and still was tough. But you never know how God is going to do what he needs to do. It gave me, peace, knowing that even though it wasn't verbally, I made peace with her. I made peace with myself, made peace with the situation
Mhm.
in that moment.
Yeah, that was probably the nicest thing she ever done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
even if you could tell it's a different energy that has came from her, as opposed to what you've experienced throughout your
Yeah.
whole life. So I can see how you could find consolement in that. A lot of people would be like, "Oh, thank the Lord! Like, thank the Lord, just one less
Yeah.
demon on this earth." You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
but you didn't.
People are that way, guys.
Yeah, but you didn't, and I think that's beautiful for you to even process it like that, and it's very admirable for you to process it like that.
Thank you.
Do you know what happened to her?
So I do know what happened.
Mhm.
There's a bunch
You
of
don't
typing.
have to. You don't have to get into details if you feel like it's revealing of her identity.
Um, I do know what happened.
Mhm.
Um, there was a tragic accident that happened.
So it was something like on set, like something.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That sucks. It's always like untimely.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. Well, God bless her and her family, and And I did want to touch on those guys because a lot, I'm gonna go off script, but a lot of kids do suffer with bullying. A lot of people say is good for your character. Where do you think that line is between bullying and tough love?
They're complete opposites. Um, Me being a victim of bullying, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Mm.
Even the kids today, I pray to God every day for them because I know what it is to be bullied. I know what it is to be bullied outside of not having the best or not having the best sneakers or not having the clothes. I was physically bullied because of the way I looked. Um, so I know what it is. I know what that feels like, and it sucks. But I would continuously tell
Hmm.
the youth of the world to keep pushing forward, no matter how hard that struggle is, because I know it's hard. I was that person.
Again, it's unfortunate that that happened, and for the people that's not familiar with this podcast, like I tend to raft off, so I'm really like holding back and trying to keep this as professional as possible, right? But we're gonna rock out. We're gonna rock out. So bullying, and you said bullying comes in different shapes, right?
Hmm.
So, and you said you experienced it physically. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Hmm, that's the kind of bullying that gets me the most upset
Yeah.
because bullies are so soft to me. Bullies are cowards. I don't like cowards. I vibe and I vibe and I connect to strong people, and that's the strength is here, and I will always know if the strength is here or if it's in the toilet. So
Yeah.
there's different bullies, man. Like in corporate America, I get bullied. There's
Yep.
microaggressions, and that's what I was thinking about earlier. Like I go to certain places where you would think I shouldn't be, or you get the feeling like I shouldn't be here. And there's
Hmm.
little remarks that's being said, little microaggressions, micro bullying. It doesn't have to be physical all the time.
Yeah.
It can be very mental and subliminal.
Yes. So true.
And to those people, I want to say, God is watching you.
It's true.
Now, I wanna compliment you. I want to compliment you. See, I can't. Yo, I've asked like 5 times for somebody to help me set up my stream deck so I
Uh-huh.
can route the sounds to my whatever. We're gonna have to be ghetto today, but but I do want to compliment you on the way that this book is structured. Like you did an amazing job on structuring the book, and the way it's introduced from your mom's perspective.
Mhm.
So the book starts before you're even born.
Yeah.
And it's almost poetic because by the time she delivers the book to you to tell your testimony, it's like it's literally like a birth, and it's so beautiful. It's
Thank you.
we're gonna link the book so you guys could get it, and we're gonna actually get a couple signed copies to give to you guys. That's in the locals,
Yes.
definitely. But
Absolutely.
I do want to like, whose idea was that?
God. The first book I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. But of I got tired of life.
Mhm.
I did. It was every day walking out and people just staring or saying or acting or thinking or whatever, and I was tired. Um, and I had to put myself in a space where like, God, why? And there were a lot of tears. There was a lot of coffee so that I could stay up and write the book.
Mhm.
But there was also a lot of, processing. And it was God who told me the structure of how he needed it to be.
Shout out to your mom. Shout out,
Yes,
mom. You're gonna have
absolutely.
to. Shout out
Mom
to you,
is
Mom.
watching. Actually,
Mama Dukes.
she's in there. She's
Shout out
watching.
to you, Mama Dukes. Because that was so amazing and so strong of her to be vulnerable and even telling that story. A lot of people don't like telling stories because it includes other people in their story. But it's like, Mom, your truth is my truth. You know? So for her to take accountability and for her to be there for you in that special time, that's amazing. That is a blessing in itself. Mom, you're the GOAT.
There it
You're the
is.
GOAT. For the old heads, that's the greatest of all time. I'm not calling her a livestock. but yeah, so you know, she talks about the things the doctors said while she was pregnant, how she was feeling when she was pregnant, different objections from doctors and trusting doctors over God, and well, not trusting the doctors over God. As you can see, we have Shadei here with us, but yeah, I just thought that was very beautiful, very beautiful in how you structured that. Shout out to you.
Thank you. There it goes. I see it. I see your face. You about to.
I'm gonna make it get a little bit lighter. I want to. Your mom is here. I want to make this a little bit lighter. It's not gonna be that uncomfortable, but let's talk about like relationships. Let's talk about relationships.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. So, Shadei, are you single?
I am. Yes.
Are you looking?
I am not.
Damn. There you go, guys. That was your chance. I tried to give you a layup. It did not work. But okay, so cool. So and is that because you don't want it, you gave up on it, or you're just too busy?
I'm always willing. And if God, sends me somebody, then shout out to Jesus for bringing me somebody.
Shout out to Jesus.
I'm not purposeful in relationships right now. Not saying that I would never be purposeful in trying. But right now my mindset is pretty driven and motivated and inspiration and just so focused on being better than I was yesterday, being better than I was 6 months ago. So I'm constantly growing. And if that person is not constantly growing, then even in the struggle, my life is a struggle.
Right.
Every day is a struggle, but yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, you sound like you thinking about somebody right now. You sound like you look like you thinking about somebody.
No, but it's that, right? Because people think that life is good and gravy every day, all day, and no, that's not what life is. That's not what my life is. I constantly grow. I constantly learn. I'm constantly in the mindset of becoming better. But that all starts with me, right? So if someone else is not willing to start with them, then that person isn't for me. Those people aren't for me. So there's that.
So I'm guessing you feel like somebody can't reach you like the emotional depth that you would have, or the level of empathy that you would have for somebody. You feel like you haven't met somebody that could reciprocate it that deeply yet.
Absolutely. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not saying that person is not out in the world somewhere.
Right.
But not yet.
Not enough for her to put steam on hold at the moment. I feel that 100%. I feel that 100%. It's just not enough hours in the day, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I do want to ask. So there was a chapter in the book where you were talking about this. It was close to the ending, and you were talking about how you in high school, you were focused on boys in 9th and 10th, but then it fizzled out as you were getting ready to graduate. But you said something about these cute boys. Obviously, all right, listen, Shadei is no different than your average girl. She's gonna chase all the bad boys. She's gonna do it. Like
I am.
I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with you girls, but it's just a natural thing, apparently. But you did say they have to look a certain way. They have to be cute, right? So give me some celebrity crushes that you have.
Mind you, this was 10 years ago, so it's that list of everything has grown and become stronger. But celebrity crushes, wow, there's a whole bunch of them.
You can't say like Justin Timberlake.
No, Justin Timberlake is one of them, by the way.
I'm good. I'm so good. Go ahead.
Did you caught that? But Idris Elba, just because of his voice, he's just awesome. Outside of him, acting, I didn't realize he was from London or him. So it's definitely celebrity crush. So many. There's literally so many.
Yeah.
But why are celebrity crushes for me, right? Because there's something different about them. There's plenty of things different about me, right? But I think as I grow and as I continue to grow, it's because I see something different in order for me to do that. So yeah.
So ideally, what would give me some traits of a husband, the ideal husband? How would he act? How would he be? What would he like, etc.?
The ideal husband has to have God first, even if he doesn't know.
Woo!
Even if he doesn't know, right? Like, even if he doesn't know who God is
Amen's in the chat. Amen's in the chat.
The chat.
Continue. Sorry, go ahead.
Even if he doesn't know who God is in the struggle, he has to know that there is somebody greater than him in order for him to be wherever space he's in, right? Because for me, there was nobody but God. Even me in speaking right now, in order for me to get through my childhood, in order for me to get through the bullying, in order for me to get through the sadness, there has to have been a God, because I could not do it in my own struggle, in my own strength. I don't have it.
Wow.
So the ideal husband has to know that greater power is what's helping him through the struggle. Yeah. He has to be motivated. He has to have a sense of humor, because I love to laugh. He has to be able to lead. He has to be able to. He just has to be willing. Because again, even for me, if I'm not going to do certain things for myself, I can't expect somebody else to be there to do it, right? So there's certain things in life that you have to be willing to say, look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am willing to do this. In order to get from A to point B, that equals C, how do I get to C?
Right.
I have to do the work.
So you need somebody to lead. I think it's crazy because, like, if you know Jeopardy, this is one for you old folks, right? If you watch Jeopardy, like the feeling of her first answer is like getting that first sting, like the first one on Jeopardy, and it's because without God, there's nothing. So everything falls under the umbrella of God. I believe in the natural order: God, woman, child. God, man, woman, child. And for you to say like he has to believe in God first, like that is like the ultimate answer. So I respect that. I respect that. And I hope you find that guy one day. You know, if you exist, he exists for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. So now we're going into spirituality.
Yes.
We're gonna go into the spirituality of things. Speaking of God. And you know, how is your relationship with God? How is that relationship?
How is it now?
How is it in general? Yeah. Now, before, what was that walk like?
That walk from then to now. definitely a growing relationship. Like you have to have a personal relationship with God in order to get to where, he needs you to be, right? So there were times in life where I didn't know where God wanted me to be. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know why I was doing it. Um, but then you sit down and you realize and you go through life and you say, okay, this doesn't work, but why is this not working? Or that doesn't work. Why is that not working? And you start to think about those things. And God knows your thoughts before you even say it. So when you think about it, God reveals certain things to you. And for me, it was a situation, and there have been situations where God had to literally reveal certain things to me. Even as simple as, I had asked God, because the world all through life would ask me if I was okay or if I needed help or all these weird things or those simple questions, right? So I had sat down and I got tired of people asking. Like, don't ask me if I'm okay. I'm just walking across the street. But I had to ask, I had to sit back and ask God, like, why are they asking me this? What is it that the world sees that I'm not seeing? And I had gotten God had given me the vision of what people see.
Mm-hmm.
And the second he gave me that was me me turning my thought process around, because if the way that God revealed what the world sees and what you see and what everybody in the world sees, I didn't see it that way. I'm just living life. Like,
Right.
I'm just going to work. I'm just going to school. But people were constantly asking me if I need help or if I'm okay. And I'm like, why is that? God, I need you to show me why. Yeah. And I got that visual.
You want to enlighten us on that visual, like that distinction?
That distinction showed me that I walk with a limp. So people are cautious with me tripping and falling and all that fun, wonderful things. So that's why they're asking me if I need help or if I have, I walk, my hands are a certain way. So if for that, for the world, they see a struggle. I physically don't see a struggle. I don't feel a struggle, but for the world, yeah, that's a struggle for me to have to um, live life with what they see as one hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, yeah.
I see it as you're just so strong. Like you're like so overpowered. Like they cannot believe what they're seeing, and it's like it's crazy because I wrote in here like when you started off, you didn't have a head start like some people. Some people you actually had things holding you back. So like
Mhm.
you're naturally from birth, this woman is fighting. So naturally, it's just compounding strength, and then you add God to that, and then like I said, Avenger status. Like she's a superhero. I said that in my last video. And they asking you if you need help, and you're like, bro, like this is normal. This is life. Like this is
Yeah.
what do you like? Come on, like. So I just think that's a testament to your strength. But because we're in this section, the spirituality section, we're gonna get weird. We're gonna talk energy, we're
Let's
gonna talk
go.
God.
Yes.
And yeah. so like the people that would ask you, like, there's another way you could look at that. You could also look at that like that's God sending people to protect you,
Mhm.
to look out for you. Did you ever feel like, okay, I'm protected?
That definitely took a lot to get to that space, because God has been protecting me all my life, right? So even in me walking and finding ways to do things myself in my own strength, it's not by myself. It's not with my own strength. It's because of God. So the protection part, that realization came to me later on in life. Yeah.
I would say I would beg to To say, I don't think. I think the way, I think humans are natural pessimists. So we're
Mhm.
always going to see the cup as half empty rather
Yeah.
than half full. But if you guys were with us from the beginning of the live stream, I'm going to do something that's going to take us back to the beginning. So if you missed it, just watch it from the beginning. But the bullies, the school, these people that bullied you, was there somebody that you were close with at that time? Were there people? What were the people that supported you? Your friends, your closest friends in that time? Like, did you have them?
No. I think that's where my struggle was.
I
Because
want you to think. I want you to think. I don't want you to like this think
I
during that time. Were there people that it's like you took them for granted, but there's people that was like your mom. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't have to be. Or you know what?
mhm,
Let's limit it to school.
mhm.
So you want to say that? So there's absolutely nobody in your school that you felt like had my back.
There were people that I, socialized with, yes.
Mhm.
But to really help me through, I didn't know how to verbalize what I was going through and what I was feeling in being bullied. So I don't know if there was really someone who, at that point, friends wise,
Mhm.
that really understood it because I didn't understand it.
Hmm. Okay. I do think that's an extremist view. That's going to be the first time
Thank
I
you.
disagree with you.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's going to be the first time I disagree with you
Yeah.
because I I still inherently believe that people are fighting. It is a spiritual warfare,
Hmm.
and um I think there's a lot of evil in this world, but I don't
Yes.
think people are inherently evil. I have not lost my way that much until to where I think people are inherently evil. So I do
It's true.
think whether it's a teacher or whether it's even the friends that you socialize with, like if they were to see you in a compromising situation, they wouldn't let that fly. And I'm connecting that to say that I wanted to see how far along you have been protected, but you're being protected to this day,
To this day, yes.
to this day, and you're anointed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very obvious. It's very obvious. How do you when did you come to find out that you were in the spiritual warfare and you were being tested to get your armor and your strength? Like when did you realize that?
The realization didn't come until I'd say late high school, early adult, because I didn't know what was happening. I spent most of my life trying to fit in, and it wasn't until I didn't fit in about 100,000 times
Hmm,
that you start to let go and let God. And then when you let go and you start letting God a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more, God brings people into your life who really do accept you in the way that you want to be accepted. And now I have, team of friends who are just here. They laugh, they joke. They're here for me and with me. Family is here and for and with me. Even, family. It's different when you know that you're different. Like none of my family has hydrocephalus, amniotic band syndrome, or am- cerebral palsy. But you grow through life and you realize that yeah, people are here, people are supportive, and people are definitely here for you. So yeah.
yeah, I think as humans and as people, if you're gonna take away one thing from this stream, one is her book. It's a masterpiece.
Thank you.
Two is to not to pour your glass, not to pour into people that don't pour back into you.
Hmm.
Energy is finite, life is finite. We're not here forever. Let's start looking at the cup as half full,
Yes.
as other than half empty. Because for the people that don't care or the people that hate on us or wish bad on us, there's a whole other group of people that want to see us win, that care about us, that want to support us. it's like, I call it like, it's like the grandma syndrome. Like, cause grandma's always calling you. She's always asking you if you hungry. It's like, grandma, I already ate. It's to the point where it's so much love. Your grandma calls and you're like, no, don't tell her I'm on the phone. You know what I'm saying? And I think as humans, like, we take things for granted like that. And it's like, grandma was there all along. It's not until grandma passes, it's like, oh, she loved me so much. You know? So I think people should pour into people and pour into people that pour into them, and look at the cup as half full, not half empty, because there's love all around us. You have to just look for it. You have to look for it. Yeah. You don't have to go far.
It's true.
So how would you tell a person? Well, there's a question before this.
Okay.
So the people that have lost their way or don't know how to pray or ask God or get back on that path, what tips do you have for them?
You can ask God pretty much everything you want to, just don't ask him how. So the what, the where, the why, there's another W, or there's 5 of them. The how is the only question not to ask. Right? So when I was going through life, and I'm still going through life, okay, God, what is it that you want me to do? Okay, God, why is it that you want me to do this? Even me, that's just me. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask God.
He said, don't ask him how. I would say ask him all the questions. I would say ask him who, because why you popping up out of nowhere, where you came from.
The who,
you know
yes. That's the other W. Yep.
Yeah, who and what, like, God, what is this shit that I'm going through right now?
It's
like
true, yes. There was questions in the Bible. Yes, there are questions
where
in the Bible.
Are you taking me?
Absolutely.
But these are all questions that we would be prone to ask, but you're saying not to.
Ask him the who, ask him the where, ask him what, ask him the why, but do not ask him the how, because he's going to reveal to you how it is that he wants you to do it.
And speaking of that, I do want to show this tweet that I put up, I believe yesterday, that kind of relates to that. And it says, Godspeed is listening the first time.
Yeah, that's the one that took me forever to... because why is that? Godspeed is listening the first time. I cannot look at God and tell him I didn't know. I can't tell God.
Right. You ask him who, what, where, when. He's gonna tell you right there.
Exactly.
If you listen, it's up to you.
It's true.
Yeah. So that I felt like that related. So are there any other tips for you to give somebody, like, Shadei, what should I pray for? I never prayed before. What should I pray for if I lost my way and I just want to get back to God?
That right there. People who have lost their way, if that is your heart's desire to get back to God, that's what you pray for.
The who, what, where, when, why, how?
Yeah. Lord, I lost my way. How do I get back?
There you go.
Why did I lose my way?
And you're going to hear it.
Right? Where I lost my way? Who is it that made me lose my way? And if it was me that made me lose my way, Lord, bring me back to where it is that you want me to be. That's it. God will show you how to get there.
Amen to that. Amen to that. That's the answer I was looking for.
That's it.
That was it. That's amazing. Yeah, because I believe people they've strayed so far from themselves. They don't know how to get back or what to look for, because they just become so unrecognizable. I would say find out things that, if you've done in your childhood, things that you've naturally gravitated towards, hobbies, just things that you naturally gravitate to. Try to reconnect with that inner child and don't leave him or her. Stick to it.
True.
Inspire others. Now, another question.
Yes.
Well, I want to make a comment. There was this quote that really stuck with me. It's towards the ending of the book. It says, "Never be ashamed of a scar. It simply means that you were stronger than what tried to hurt you."
Yes.
I love that quote.
Yes.
Can you speak on that and your experience with that scar?
So there's a bunch of scars physically that I have. And every time I look at them, I thank God for the day that I'm in. Because the scars that I have physically could have killed me. They should have killed me. They would have killed me had it not been but for God. Um I'm not I there was a time where I was ashamed of every scar that I have. I hated my scars. I legit hated them. But that was also part of the growth in the process that God had to take me through, because it was like, those are scars, yes, but you're still here. Yes, I am, Lord.
Right.
I am.
Now, do you want to give away your favorite scar? Or no? You don't have to.
I can give away my favorite
You
scar.
don't have to because
Absolutely.
it's in the book.
It's in the book.
It's
It's
in
in
the
the book.
book.
It's in the book.
It's in the
Yes,
book. But you do have a favorite scar, and I
I
think
do.
that's so powerful. That's so powerful because it's literally the time the scar has been being worked on in the same time that it took you to accept it. And I like how that came together. You know, your final procedure
Mhm.
is, how do I say this? Your final procedure is the moment that you came to love yourself, and the timing is just perfect. Let's see what we got here.
It was God's timing. God's timing is always perfect.
It's always right. It's always right. So, what would you tell a person with the insecurity? Say they have hair loss and they have the light shining off of their dome like me, or it could be it could be any type of alopecia. It doesn't, or it could be anything, any insecurity,
Yeah.
really. Like I just use hair loss because that's one of my personal stories of me turning a weakness into a strength,
Hmm.
something that I was insecure about,
Yeah.
especially because I started losing hair around like 18, 19. So I was like,
Hmm.
yo, like this is not fly. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And you know, there was a day, what did I see? It was that same quote of turning your weakness to a strength. And I
Hmm.
just cut my hair off and I was like, I'll be all right. I'll
Yeah.
be fine. And then from there, I've been, I feel kind of invincible a little bit. But so what would you tell a person with the insecurity, and how would you help them turn that to a strength? Like, what does the before, during, after feel like when you turn a strength to a weakness? I mean, a weakness to a strength.
When you turn a weakness into a strength, right? You are dealing with something that is blocking your thought process. I know, because I've been there. But there's a certain time in my life where I had to look at that and all of my weaknesses. I had to look at every last one of them and say that I didn't want it to be a weakness anymore. I don't want this to be a weakness anymore. Right? So for me, I had to get to that space, and there was nobody who could help me through that, because nobody else is looking at the weakness the way I'm looking at the weakness. But I also knew that that was actually at it was a we had gone and spoke second service with one of the neighborhood churches,
Mm,
and one of his sermons was, there has to be more. So if I'm looking at a weakness, realizing that there has to be more, because I've heard it said that there has to be more. There has to be more in the space that I'm in. So how do I get to more? How do I get to greater? How do I get to more powerful? How do I get to, you know, something different, right? So I have to take the steps in order to get to somewhere different. There has to be the work done. So
mm.
in order for me to get out of my weakness, I have to first acknowledge it for
Okay.
myself. I have to make the decision to not be in the space that I was in yesterday. And people think, oh yeah, 6 months from now, whatever. No, take it day by day. Take it moment by moment. Take it second by second. Because that's how tough struggle is. Don't make it big.
Yeah, it's true.
Don't make
You
it big.
preaching. You preaching.
It's true. Don't make it big. Don't make it complicated for yourself. Don't listen to other people. Oh, yeah, whatever. No, you take it as slow as you need to take it. But if we can get from this second to the next minute to the next hour to the next day, and you are better than you were yesterday, that's progress. We salute it. And if
Yes,
you can
ma'am.
make that if you are choosing to make that progress, because everybody can, it's a choice, right? So if we get from Monday to Tuesday and your progress is greater, I'm celebrating that.
Facts.
And once you get to that, we continue to do that because you did it the first time. So you can continue to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how does it feel? How does it feel after when they finally make that change? How's it like on the other side?
Absolutely amazing. For me, it's even now, even this podcast, absolutely amazing. The first podcast I did, I was nervous. I was shaking. I didn't know what I was doing. But from the first podcast that I've ever done to now, I feel awesome every time I do a podcast. Every time I'm asking to be spoke, every time somebody asks me to speak somewhere, it feels absolutely amazing for myself. Why? Because I took myself through those weaknesses. I've taken myself through those steps. I've done the work. But I cannot tell somebody how to do the work in their own life. I can only be here and support you and know that yeah, there is greater, but my greater is not your greater. We have different stories. We have different goals. We have different victories, right? So the most I can do is be here and there for anybody who is going through a weakness. Yeah.
Amazing. And I was just thinking about you saying my greater is not your greater. That is so true. And I don't have the time for you to find out your greater. You're gonna have to do the work. The period that we in right now, and I'm saying we because I need you up here, Shadei.
I got you.
Where we at in life right now, if you're not on the program, if you're not on God's program, let's put it like that. If you're not on God's program, there's no time, energy, space for you.
It's true.
That's what we're on right now. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to do the work, and the work sometimes takes years, decades.
It does.
You get what I'm saying? And I don't have that much life. I do not have that much life to dedicate for somebody to go through that. I will say on the other side of things that some will call that love, the commitment to understand and grow with somebody for the rest of their life. Some will call it that. Me personally, you just gonna have to have done the work, man. Like you got to be this tall to ride this ride, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to go off on that tangent, but I did.
It's true.
Yeah, man.
The Lord told you to do it, so yes, we did
it. Appreciate you. So we're almost at an hour now. I do want to let people know where to find your book, if you don't mind.
Of course. So I am always at somebody's vendor events. You can always catch me in person. But I also do have Instagram, which is, you want to put it in the you know, like it? Okay.
Yeah.
So Instagram is simply Shadei the author. I'm also available on Facebook if you search my first and last name. There's plenty of ways to contact me by email. It is Stima, S as in Sam, Tim as in Mary, A 2590 at gmail.com. So yeah, I'm here, there, and everywhere. If you need to, I'm here. Help continue to grow, continue to stay motivated. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up your pages now.
Okay.
I'm also gonna pull up your Amazon.
Yes.
Your Amazon.
Amazon might be a little weird because, again, 10 years ago, I didn't know what I was doing when it came to processing it on Instagram.
You probably rich right now.
Amazon, but
you probably rich right this minute. But let me share the screen. I put her Instagram in the chat. You guys, please give her a follow. You know, she's very inspirational. She actually has another project coming up. Can you want to speak on that while we go through this?
Yes. So the first book is I Have This Doesn't Have Me. The second book is Warrior Princess, Warrior Queen. Yes, that's the page. And then there's a children's book that is still in progress. So we are still staying busy, motivated.
Nice.
Shadei, the inspirational, motivational author, is looking to expand. So if we're working on apparel as well. More guest, podcast speaking engagements. I'm open for it. I'm ready for it. So yeah.
And yeah, this definitely won't be the last time that we have Shadei on the MaxOut podcast. Also, we're gonna do a children's book together. I said it.
All right, let's go. Let's do it.
I said it. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do it. So yeah, thank everybody for joining in. Thank you guys for supporting everybody on Rumble, X, Locals, YouTube. You guys are the best. We're gonna wrap this up, and till next time. Peace out, guys.
Take care.